Headshot. Frank. Sit down.
Frank.
Yo, it's your man Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.
Back for another episode of Marriage Exposed. Come through the website, marriageexposed.com. -exposed.com.
Yes, -exposed.com.
What's the Facebook joint? It's facebook.com/groups/exposing
It's
marriage.
Yeah.
Join the group. We're up to like 700 people.
Just hit us up on Facebook and we'll add you to the group. Yeah, because it's easier that way, because I don't know if you can like really search it because it's a closed group.
Right. True.
But just hit up our Facebook page or hit either one of us up on Facebook.
Next question, and just so that folk know, when questions come in, we answer them via email, so nobody's waiting to hear their question get answered.
Mm-hmm.
But we also know a lot of other couples and
Might
folk
be
may be
going
going through this, so we still want to answer the questions via the video too. So, question number, first of all, my husband and I love what you and Dr. Roz are doing. We appreciate you guys being so honest, and your honesty helps us before our marriage, and I'm sure many other couples feel the same way. For a little background on my husband and myself, we are both 39. We've been married 1 year, and we've had a great first year of marriage, and I'm ready to have children now. And he wants children too, but he's just not sure if the time is right. He is thinking that this may still be the honeymoon stage and that things could get rockier in the future. And since we haven't gone through any real battles or arguments, that he doesn't really know how we'll react when we do. But my biological clock is ticking, and I honestly thought in my 20s I'd be working on kid number 2 or 3 by now, not just working on kid number 1. And if he wants to wait another 2 years, I'll be 42, and by the time my child is graduating high school, I'll be 60. I know 57 isn't that much better for me, but it feels better. How do you guys think we should move forward on this decision?
Well, I think health-wise, you do got to get going, because the moment that as women, when we turn 35, we lose, when we turn 30, we lose about 30% of our eggs.
At 30?
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
How many eggs y'all got?
A lot. We have a lot. But
so 30% ain't bad.
Well,
if you got a lot.
Well, here's the thing, though. By the time we hit 35, we're now potentially in a situation where there are birth defects.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if you're perfectly healthy?
Even if you're perfectly healthy.
I did not know that.
I know. A lot of people
I thought that
don't.
was some excuse y'all just used for us to get y'all pregnant.
Oh, no. It's definitely true.
Okay.
Autism, mental retardation.
Word over 35?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that biological clock is real. It's real for women. And it's not so much, well, you guys lose your egg. Well, your sperm production.
We lose eggs too. Yeah. Thank you, PhD number 1. You see, you were magna cum laude in your class that we got eggs.
Shut up. You lose your sperm production as well.
Okay.
In your 30s. But women, for real, the longer we wait.
Now, this is totally off topic, but the younger you guys get pregnant, is that any bad stuff? Like, so when chicks are like getting pregnant at 12, does anything negative come with that? Or it doesn't matter just because? Okay.
The moment a woman has her menstrual cycle, she is eligible for pregnancy.
Yeah, I just didn't know that if you have them really young, if there was some side effects too. Like if there was a perfect window, like 18 to 30 is the perfect time to have a perfectly healthy.
There might be some emotional deficits when having a child so young, just because the mother is, emotionally immature herself.
Right.
So depending on what type of stress she's dealing with during the pregnancy, the child could actually feel that. And so, and if the mom goes through a whole pregnancy of stressfulness, during that 3rd trimester is when the child will develop behavioral deficits.
Okay.
So you have to be careful of teratogens or...
I'm sorry? What have
teratogens or...
what's a teratogen?
Harmful things that can affect someone when you're pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, so say for instance if someone is participating in substance abuse or, alcohol, or they did in the past, that's what we consider teratogens. Or very stressful situations, because it does affect the process of the baby. In the 1st trimester, if there's an overload or overwhelming amount of teratogens, then in that 1st trimester, the child will develop structural abnormalities. So have you ever seen, say for instance, if the mother is drinking and, continues to drink, then the child pretty much will have like fetal alcohol syndrome.
Now, is that true now? Because I know a lot of
It is true.
I know. I'm just saying because I know a lot of mothers was drinking in the 60s and the 70s and smoking cigarettes.
And if you look at
and
those
our kids were probably,
if you look at those kids, they have structural abnormalities. They have, where their eyes are spaced far apart. Like you.
So if you cross-eyed, your mother drank?
No, not cross-eyed. No, your physical eyelids are like spaced out.
Okay.
You've seen people where you're just like, interesting.
All right. Well, my fault. I didn't mean to get off topic. So
No. This is good because I always think educating people is good. In that second trimester, if there's still teratogens going on, then now you're dealing with the bodily issues. And so at that point, you're causing abnormalities to like the organs.
Okay.
So like lungs and heart and things like that. And then in that third trimester, if it's still going on, then that's when the behavioral deficits come in. So it's very important during that time of pregnancy that it is a stress-free pregnancy.
Okay.
And it's even more important once we pass the age of 35.
Okay.
Because at that point, to no fault of our own, research has shown that, because of our egg abnormality, because you have to think about it, most women become menopausal into the 40s, on to the 50s.
Okay.
So the ovaries just stop. We're no longer ovulating and doing those things. So the prime time to have kids is that 20 year. Now, there are some people that are having kids well into the 40s.
Okay.
But those are high-risk pregnancies.
Okay.
And so if you know anything about, well, you do. Your wife has been pregnant. That's the closest.
And I know so much about that. I paid so much attention to it.
Well,
so.
when she was birthing Naomi, that's the closest to death that she would get. Pregnancy is very, and even though it's a lot of people out here having a lot of kids, it's a very high risk experience, basically. So, yeah, she's absolutely right. And unfortunately, the husband may want to be on this. I mean, if they're not financially or emotionally ready, that's one thing. However, getting married so late, this is probably something they should have talked about.
Right. And then I can understand where money's coming from because he's on some stuff like, well, yeah, the first year's been cool. Like, even with me and T, when we were arguing, it's so funny because I call T, I call it Jesus.
I know, that's hilarious to me.
People in church, if I'm talking and telling, how me and T, when we first got married, I mean, we used to argue like baby boy, like cursing each other out and everything like that. And people in the church were like, tiny curses. I'm like, oh, don't get it twisted. Don't let that Jesus.
I can't see her doing that.
Okay. I can. So my biggest thing was we're not having kids until we can learn to argue and disagree.
Though.
Right. I'm saying it was cool.
Was Tiny 26?
Yeah, we were the same age. So I'm just saying that for me it was like we're not having kids because I don't want my kids growing up and see and that's what they're seeing. I don't want my kids to say, oh, I learned how to curse from hearing my mom and dad argue. Yeah. So I mean we waited 5 years until we got married. I know we say it a lot.
5 years after marriage.
Yeah, 5 years after marriage. I know we say it a lot, but decisions like that, I really think that that's something you should be in prayer about.
Yeah.
Again, me and Roger coming, Roz, not Raj. Rerun.
I'll take Roz.
You saw what's happening. You know what's happening.
Yeah, I saw it.
Just gotta make sure.
Did you see my rerun dance?
I don't want to see your rerun dance. So.
It's tight.
You done made me lose my train of thought. But the more what I'm saying is, I know we say that a lot, but we're coming from a biblical perspective. So, I mean, that's definitely something that you should pray on, something maybe you should be fasting about and really get in God's face about, like, to figure out, is this a good time? Because even though...
our options, she can freeze her eggs.
Right. And even though, because for us, it may add up like this is this, 1 + 1 = 2, but it may not always be like that. So I think it's just getting your husband to understand what Raj just said, because I don't think a lot of men...
Yeah, you probably don't think that.
Like I said, to be honest with y'all, I just thought that was like some excuse for us to knock y'all up. So I didn't really know it was true. So
it's a reality.
Right. So he may not know it's a reality. So it may be good to kind of educate him on everything like that, because if I was in his position from hearing things like that, birth defects and all that stuff, then I would probably be like, okay, yeah, let's jump on this now. Let's jump ahead of that, because I don't want my kid to have to go through any of that, So I think it's just more so educating him, being in prayer about it, and because I think, like I said, a lot of men, and not saying I think like every man, but doesn't really know all that. I had no idea your eggs like start falling off at like 30. So
yeah, they do.
So we don't know. So I think educate them, pray about it, and you know, prayerfully that will kind of help him kind of see, okay, yeah, maybe this is something we need to jump ahead.
And there are options though. You can freeze your eggs at this age.
Now I never knew what that meant. So you freeze your eggs.
So like, so she went through the process right now. Then her eggs would essentially be 39 as opposed to 43 if that's when she got pregnant.
And then they just put the eggs back in. Now does that come with complications?
It could, yeah, because the eggs it may not take.
Your eggs may not take back to you?
No. It may not take with the sperm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, do your research, do the knowledge, because like I said, you know, Miss PhD over here know everything, the smarty-arty. So, you know, the rest of us normal folk don't know all these things. So do the research, and I would say go to your husband with like a plan. Like, look, this is the situation. Let's figure out how we're gonna, you know, move forward based off of this evidence, you know.
You know what? Have a conversation with him, because it may be that he's afraid to be a father.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe try to figure out his reasoning for wanting to hold off.
Right. So.
Because from what I hear, I'm not a parent, but from what I hear, you're never really ready anyway.
Right. You're not. You can't plan it perfectly. So, prayerfully, we answered your question. Let us know how things turn out. I'm your man, Kil.
And I'm Dr. Roz.
MarriageExposed@gmail.com. Keep the questions coming. Keep the comments coming. Keep it locked.